Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's 10-Minute Take presented by UST and Technology Advice. I'm Corey Knowles, and I'll be your moderator for this session. Today's topic is private 5G at scale, winning the enterprise connectivity race. In today's enterprise landscape, connectivity isn't just about being online. It's about building a network that works precisely for your business. That's where private 5G comes in. It offers enterprises secure, ultra-reliable, and customizable networks designed for mission-critical operations. Whether that's powering automation on the factory floor, enabling real-time digital twins of logistic networks, or securing high-bandwidth communications in remote sites, private 5G is giving organizations the freedom to connect on their own terms. Joining me today is Rajiv Gandhi, Head of Technology for Telco Network Engineering. Rajiv has over 3 decades of telecom expertise, guiding technology adoption and transformation across multiple regions worldwide. Rajiv, thanks so much for being here.
Thank you very much, Cody. Thanks for inviting me.
All right, well, let's get started. So, when you talk about private 5G, what's the biggest misconception you hear, and how do you set the record straight?
Interesting question. And I think, trust me, every day I hear this question whenever I talk to my enterprise customers. It's a common question across the enterprises, across the industry. The first and the foremost thought that they have all the time, because they have been living in the Wi-Fi era, and we all have been living in the Wi-Fi era. And they believe that everything can be resolved with the help of Wi-Fi. If I have a Wi-Fi installed, that means my problem is resolved. So that is my starting point with them. That guys, not everything is workable on Wi-Fi. Yes, Wi-Fi is a great story. It has given us a huge amount of depth into our internet reach, into our enterprises. But now the way the industries are moving, the way the technologies are moving, Wi-Fi is there to help you, but to manage your mission critical applications, to run your factories in a proper manner, to do mass amount of coverages, you need to change your gears. The new technologies are here, and especially when we moved into the 5G era, there was a new term which came out. We started calling it private 5G. I don't call it private 5G. I call it private cellular. For me, it's a cellular technology. But I call it private 5G, or you got, like most of the people call it private 5G. I call it private cellular technology. So that is the biggest challenge that we have been facing: how to change that mindset of the enterprises that not everything can be resolved on Wi-Fi. Now, the second challenge that we have been seeing with the enterprises is, 5G or the private 5G. Why do I need it if Wi-Fi is there and I have got a public 5G as well? Now, what do I mean by public 5G? Public 5G is the carriers who are providing the 5G coverages. Like in US, you have got T-Mobile, AT&T, Verizon, other places, the other carriers and operators. And that's the second challenge that I face with them. They say, okay, I have Wi-Fi. If Wi-Fi is not working, let me fall back on my public 5G networks. And then we have the challenges of public 5G. Can it give you the amount of throughput that you need? Can it give you the amount of bandwidth that you're looking for? Can it help you in the mission critical applications that you need, the ultra low latency applications that you need? So those are some of the challenges that we face with enterprises. We have come a long way in that journey, but I believe the journey is still continuing.
Awesome. One of the promises of private 5G is full control over performance, security, and coverage. Can you share any examples of how enterprises are using this control to solve challenges that they couldn't address with public networks?
Oh, yeah. Okay, I'll give you, before I get into the use cases, I'll give you a small example. Imagine you are, in the morning, you're coming to your office, you have a very important meeting in your office, right? You start from your home and you are using the highway to reach from your home to your office. Now, it's an 8-lane highway and totally choked. Everybody wants to reach to their office. Everybody's ready for their meetings, for their daily work. And you are losing time, you are losing your patience and all, and you are thinking, how can I move fast? And imagine I give you a dedicated lane only for you. Only you are the one who will be allowed to travel on that lane. Nobody else will get onto the train. What will happen? You will reach to your destination like like a bullet, right? You will be on time, you will be able to perform your day to day work, and then while you're coming back, again, you're back home. Now, this is the main difference between public versus private 5G. Um, this is an example that most of the people can immediately relate. Now, how do people use it? How do enterprises use it? Multiple places. Let's take an example of airports. Now, airports during peak heavy seasons, they are like totally flooded with the customers, right? The luggages, how to manage this huge amount of luggage, the conveyor belts, the luggages, the video surveillances, the security of so many people coming onto the airport. So that is, again, Wi-Fi has been traditionally doing it. Now we can do it far more effective way. The airports are not deploying private 5G purely for these kind of scenarios. You use the word digital twin. Very interesting scenario, digital twins. Now, can I simulate it in an environment beforehand? Suppose tomorrow I know 10,000 people are going to hit my airports because the holiday season is going to start. Now, can I simulate it? And is my all my applications are performing to the task that they have to do? Are they performing it that way? So that is one example of airports. Let's look at the manufacturing industry. The manufacturing industry, you have these big shop floors and the robotic arms are working. Now, these robotic arms, you'll be surprised, the latency requirement is less than 10 milliseconds. A Wi Fi network cannot give that kind of a latency requirement. It cannot meet those requirements. Now, the autonomous robotic vehicles who have to coordinate with the arm and the vehicle. Now, again, very low latency requirements, very high bandwidth requirement, right? That is, again, coming into the manufacturing industry. Let's take it to the healthcare. Healthcare, we all understand the imaging data. Let's look at the MRI data. If you go for an MRI, the just a single MRI data is such a massive data. You're sending the data over the air interfaces, over the channels, and then now we are reaching to a level where people have started, or the doctors have started doing the remote surgeries. There, you cannot take risks at all. You cannot take chances. You cannot have a glitchy internet or a glitchy connection over there. You are playing with lives over there. And people, and now you're seeing, you must have seen in the news, the robotic surgeries as well as the distant surgeries are becoming a reality. Now, these are some of the big use cases that we are seeing, and these use cases are expanding on a daily basis.
Wow, that's fascinating. So we're seeing adoption across mission critical industries like manufacturing, healthcare, logistics. Can you share an example of a private 5G powering automation or analytics in a way that just simply wasn't possible before?
Oh, let's look at, and this is a very interesting area, energy segment. And now the energy, the grid, the smart cities, the smart grids, the utilities. Now, they were relying. Now you're seeing, you're relying on the energy meters. You are looking at the the right time when the energy supply can go down in one house, it can move to the other house. The analytics which needs to happen at that pace, it's like kind of like lightning pace at that which happen, and the decision making, and after the decision has been taken, the action that needs to be taken, right? So from your house, an energy segment goes down, or your consumption goes down, somebody else's houses and consumption goes up. All that analytics happening real time, the changes happening real time, the movements and the actions happening real time. This is one of the biggest example that we are seeing. Like, this is one of the sectors where it is happening quite a lot. Now, think more from an emergency responders. God forbid something wrong happens. God forbid, like where the emergency responders have to move in. Now, emergency responders rely heavily on the back end. Why they are relying? Because the back end people are actually guiding them as well. The remote hubs are guiding them on a continuous basis as to where to go, where not to go. Look at all the maps. They are the ones who are reading the maps for them, the building maps and all, and guiding them. Go to this floor. There is a door over here and all. Now, if you have again any glitchy network over there, any kind of a disconnection over there, you have got not their lives at stake, and the people whom they're trying to rescue, their lives also at stake. So this is again a massive, heavy, mission critical application where the connectivity and the robustness of the connectivity and the speed matters quite a lot.
So, for IT leaders, cost and complexity are always top of mind. What different models are you seeing?
We have come across multiple models over the years, but the most prevalent ones, which are saving quite a lot of cost for them, one of them is the plug and play model, where the devices come pre-configured and you just plug them and it starts working. The other, more industry specific, is the managed services model, where the companies like UST manages the networks for them, and the cloud architecture that has helped us quite a lot to manage multiple networks across multiple geographies with the help of cloud.
So, as more enterprises embrace private 5G, where do you see the biggest growth opportunities over the next few years? Like, what outcomes should enterprises expect?
Well, if you ask me honestly, I believe the industry 4.0 standard, like the industry 4.0, where the big industries have taken it on them to make it, to bring in more automation. Every industry you go and talk to, the the first thing that everybody wants to do is make the things right first time, use more and more automation, bring in more robotics into your day-to-day work, maybe agentic AI or Gen AI. And that is where I'm seeing, and it's across the industry. I'm not saying it is manufacturing versus healthcare versus retail, but industry 4.0 is actually pushing all of these standards across different industries. Yes, they are implementing it in a different manner. It could be like somebody has taken a lead in maybe agentic more, or the other one has taken more on a robotic scenarios. But the growth is happening in all the verticals, and this is the most beautiful part that I'm seeing. When we started the journey of private 5G, the the first and the foremost people who were raising their hands were these big giants, the oil and gas, the petroleum industries. But now I'm seeing even the mid-sized companies. They are also coming in. They are saying, like, we want to automate more and more things, and we are looking for more and more robust connections, low latency connections. Security becoming a big problem statement when they go outside on a public, versus they can now manage their own security. That's one area, right? The other area which I'm seeing is there's a huge interest from the government bodies as well, especially the Department of Defense or the defense sector or the defense. They want to create their sovereign network. They are saying that we will create our own networks which will run purely for the defense sector. Now that is one more area which is growing pretty fast, and they are actually doing quite a lot of pioneer work in that direction as well. Um, well, there are a few things which I cannot share because of the sensitivity natures, but quite a lot of new technology additions are happening in the defense sector as well. The edge computing, that's the third area where we are seeing, because now most and most people want to take their decisions on the edge itself. Now these are the areas where I'm seeing in the coming days, months, and years, more activities happening from a private cellular perspective. And I'm again using the word private cellular, and I'm not using the word private 5G, because when we move towards 5.5G and the 6Gs, the cellular word remains common. The 5G might change to 5.5 or 6G.
Well, Rajiv, thank you so much for sharing your insights with us today. Where can folks go to learn more about UST and the work your team is doing?
Very easy. Go to ust.com.
Easy enough. If there's one key takeaway today for our audience, it's this. Private 5G is no longer just about connectivity. It's about giving enterprises control, reliability, and scalability to turn their networks into a true competitive advantage. And thank you to our audience for joining this 10-minute take today, brought to you by UST and Technology Advice. We'll see you next time.